What's up, Patriot Nation? Big win for the Pats on Sunday, 23-21 over the Cardinals. We'll talk all about it, and we'll look forward to our matchup with the hated Dolphins all this week on Patriots Wrap 360.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's Jimmy. Come again. It's Jimmy.
The J, the M, the Y, the N, the Y. Yes, sir.
It's
Jimmy. It is.
It was Jimmy all day on Sunday. You gotta love it. I mean, Tommy B. He's not gonna get Tommy B by any chance, or Wally Pipped, or whatever you want to take it. I think it's Tommy B now instead of Wally Pipp. But Jimmy G played great, and so did the Patriots. I mean, we were cautiously optimistic last week, Jay, going into this one. I think that's a good way to put it, But I think, it's not uncommon for a lot of Pats fans to kind of looking at the schedule and not having the GOAT for the first 4 games to kind of tag this one as an L, perhaps,
I kind of had it tagged.
Okay.
I mean, I was thinking a 3-1. I was hoping for a 3-1 start without Brady, and thinking this was going to be the loss. I guess we're going 4-0.
It's Jimmy.
That's right.
It's Jimmy.
I mean, I think I want to channel my.
Okay.
I want to channel my inner Belichick by saying, slow your roll. Okay, let's talk about 2-0 before 4-0. But, oh, man, what'd you see out there, boys? I mean, Jimmy G, just calm and poised.
Very poised. Very poised. I mean, I thought he was smooth, very smooth, calm, and just went about his business just the Patriot way. I mean, it looked like he played for 2 years.
Next man up.
But I got to say,
we got to have KRS-One cut a Next Man Up song for the show.
Going back to you talking about possibly chalking up a lot, it was a little bit shocking to hear all the talking heads. I mean, no one was picking the Pats.
Right.
And, straight out of a Pats playbook, you got Carson Palmer giving them a little, bulletin board material.
So awesome.
And
Thank you, Carson.
When did these teams learn?
Yeah.
And, I mean, when does the media learn? When are you going to stop questioning the fact that the Pats, I mean, come on, dude. That's
it's funny.
Seemed like Chris Long maybe heard those comments.
I went to work on Monday, and there was a kid that came in. He went to the game. He's a Cardinals fan, and I mean, this kid was deflated. I mean, these guys, the Cardinals fans, and just the GM alone was just. They are outraged that they lost this game. Yeah. It's just like they lost the Super Bowl.
They should be.
They're the new Colts. They're just they're don't put your banners up.
Yeah.
You know what
Very
I mean?
similar. The GM is blew up, and I mean, it was disgusted that they lost this game. And this other coworker is completely deflated. Like, I can't believe we lost this game. And I just said to him, "Hey, man, it's all good. It's the Patriots, dude. Like, what'd you expect? It's the Patriots. Like, as if Tom Brady not playing and Gronkowski not playing was like, I can't believe we lost to that team. It's
right.
like, well, I mean, you just lost to a great team. You'll be okay. It's okay. You lost to a great team. That's what I said to him. It's okay.
I don't want to take you to the curb, Jay, on the second episode of the season, but didn't we agree not to use deflated as a term on this show for the entire season? Say maybe downtrodden or pissed.
Well, I mean,
really
I think
sad.
there was a bit of a slip. I don't think he intended
Okay,
it.
all right,
sorry.
shake it off.
By the way, I'm just looking at our rundown.
Yeah, what do you think?
It has the score.
It's
and Jimmy. G. That's it.
Jimmy.
So,
It's all up here, buddy.
so let's
right
just
here.
talk about Jimmy the whole
J,
show.
That's it. Why not?
The M.
I mean,
I got to tip my hat to Josh McDaniels, though. I mean, I thought he was fantastic. The play call was great, no?
Yep.
I mean, it played right in. I mean, they knew exactly what they had to do, and they executed. And I thought he had a great game call.
it's funny how that works on a Bill Belichick team.
Yeah, well, it's weird how the play call changed when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady came in, didn't it?
Oof.
That was quite the
All right,
change.
let's
Yeah,
stay- let's
they put into the
Let's stay on
playbook.
topic.
They put in the playbook to win Super Bowls, evidently.
Yeah.
Drew, I'm just kidding. I know you're a big fan of the show. What's you put up a lot of numbers. The dude's like making wine up in Washington.
Yeah,
now.
he's
doing
coaching.
fine.
He's living the life.
High school
Coaching high
football.
school.
Yeah,
Up in
he's living
Walla
the life.
Walla?
Yeah, making wine.
That's killer. Yeah, that's killer. Go get it, Drew. Mad ups to Dante. I mean, when we were at the fantasy draft, I was telling you guys about how worried I was about the offensive line, as I usually am.
No, yeah, we were listening when you were talking.
Yeah. And you guys were like, rest easy.
Yeah.
Dante's
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it showed.
It
Yeah.
did show.
Right? Yeah, good call.
I mean,
Good call
it's like,
thanking me for.
But you know-
no, exactly though. It's just like pedigree. He just brings a certain pedigree that it's just unbelievable. You know, we're in good hands with that, and I think Belichick knew that was something he just couldn't worry about right now in the situation that they're in this arc of the franchise.
Yeah.
And they needed to go back home.
Well, you know, I think what else helped that offensive line, honestly, was Martellus Bennett. Mm-hmm. I mean,
What a job blocking he did.
I mean, that was an element that we didn't have last year. He was an animal. I mean, did you
Oh,
see him
beast.
just crush Chandler Jones? It was like
Yeah.
manhandled him.
and he just says all the right things too. He's like, "Hey, I've caught 90 balls before and been on a losing team. That's not what I'm here to do.
That's right.
I will block. I will,
And
catch
he had a
pass,
great
whatever."
point of, he's like, listen, a lot of people now are automatically associating success and failure with fantasy points. He's like, that's not what your teammates associate success, and it's true.
Right.
It's true. A lot of people would say right now that live in, Kansas City, oh, Martellus Bennett had a bad first week.
Yeah.
It's like, no, actually he had an awesome
Yeah, he did.
first week. He had an amazing first week. And if he continues that, there's going to be problems because the running game is going to be like when they find their running back, and if it's Garrett Blunt, fine, they're going to run behind this man because he's big and he's mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
He likes to read kids' books during the day, and then
He showed up
on
as
Sundays
Pokemon.
he likes to turn into a Pokemon and
yeah.
destroy people.
Pokey something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, a Charizard.
a Pokemon that was kind of tough to catch for the Cardinals on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without getting run over. I mean, he did have that one cough up. That was his one blemish, and I'm sure he's, rocking it program style in meetings this week and carrying the rock under his arm. But
the Garrett.
yeah,
Yep.
But I mean, that guy just runs so hard. I
was
don't care that the
impressive.
dude runs like a 4.7.
He was impressive.
It's like he just does that.
We'll take
animal.
that and we'll take that cough up in week one with a win because we know that it was a little bit of an anomaly to beat that team losing the turnover battle, and they did it. They still did it.
I know.
And
That was amazing.
And Blunt, and I've always been like wary of Blunt. I'm always like, hey, he just can't get to the line. I've said this last year. I'm concerned he can't get to the line. He's not quick enough. He can't make the cuts. Well, you could just throw all that out because what I saw this weekend, I mean,
He's got some shimmy shake, baby.
Shimmy shake. He shimmy shake Peterson. And
Yeah.
he got outside, and this kid was flying. I mean, he was possessed.
That was a great run.
Yeah.
Shimmy shake.
I
That
was
was
like-
kind of like Brady versus Urlacher all over again.
Oh boy.
I was.
Don't
he
hurt
was-
yourself,
I
Punch.
think-
Don't hurt yourself. We need you. No room on the IR in this room.
No.
Oh man.
I tell you, Blount was one of the most impressive players for me on the field this weekend.
Another guy who impressed me, and we could stay right there in that offensive backfield, Mr. James White. Okay, 2 plays in particular, backed up, I believe, on their second series, back in their own zone. That excellent call by McDaniels on that screen, and fantastically executed by the offensive line. Boom, he takes it for like a 22-yard
The one
gain,
he
gets
caught-
him out of the shadow of the
He
end
caught
zone.
like down by his ankles.
That's number 2.
Yeah.
That's number 2.
Okay.
Number 1 was the screen for like 22, but that one was later in that same drive.
Yeah.
3rd and 5, he makes that conversion. And Collinsworth, who I don't think it's a surprise to either of you guys, I'm not a fan of, did give him mad props for that, as well as he should have.
He was
Being
a little
able to-
strangely positive to the Pats.
Yes,
that night.
he's not
He was-
like that,
No, but he
usually.
had a couple nice. But he's still.
Well,
Pompous asshole.
There was a nice catch that he also made. That Jimmy, the throw he made to him,
Jimmy.
he stuck it right
J,
in his
the
stomach
I,
with
the
2
I,
guys draped
the
on him, and I was like,
Yes. And then makes that like kind of below the knee catch and spins the other way and still makes the first down.
well, that was a different one. I'm talking about the one he
sorry.
was coming across the middle, and he had 2 linebackers draped on him, and Jimmy,
Threaded it.
Threaded it. I was like,
You always
whoa.
jump a play ahead of me when I'm talking.
What play are we talking about?
No, that's awesome.
What's the
I
next
love
play?
that.
What's the next play?
No, I mean, he was just kind of a little bit of a standout for me, and like there would, the kid's come a long way from being on the bubble 2 years ago, and it's like letting Vereen go. I think a lot of Pats fans after that Super Bowl season were like, "Damn, we're really gonna miss this guy," and he's playing well for the Giants and all that stuff. But Patriot way,
James White
you
stepped
cost
up
him too
since
much, next man up.
Dion went down. James White said, "Look at me, here I am." And let's just throw in the mix of this offense Hogan, because you're going to know that name and you're going to know it well this year.
Yes. Oh my God, that was great.
Oh, what sprint to the end zone! I was just like, okay, I'm done now. Did I hit the finish line?
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, well,
Showmanship.
you
Go out on
can't-
top.
You can't double team this offense. If you do, there's going to be problems, and it might not happen right away. But you can't put that on tape for more than 2 or 3 series, because the coach is going to see it and they're going to take advantage, and then they're going to go to a guy like Chris Hogan on a 9 route.
Pretty. I
Man.
like that kid.
Also liking what I'm seeing out of Malcolm Mitchell in the early going.
Yeah.
And it sends says a lot about that kid, and obviously why he's a Patriot, because that elbow injury he suffered in the preseason,
Looked
that was
bad.
no joke.
Yeah, that looked
I was
bad.
thinking, okay, we'll see you around week 6.
Yeah, I know.
And this kid's like, tape it up.
Yeah.
And he's in there.
He looked like Gronk with that arm.
He's got a serious thing on there.
Yeah, it was tape it
yeah.
up when I played, but now it's like a RoboCop.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah, it's nice. That's gonna be interesting to see him develop this year. What he brings,
yeah. I'm quite excited about
How
him.
about Jimmy G's? One thing that took me back about Jimmy G that I didn't see, I just didn't realize, is his release time. It was unbelievable how quickly this guy gets rid of the ball.
Yeah.
They were questioning in preseason, but like he's come a long way.
In this game, it was awesome. And that's one thing. I think we talked about earlier. You still think he's got a chance of being traded in week 5? Because we talked about this. And
Rather inebriated. I was thinking you were going to forget about it. but-
no, I didn't.
Right.
And
I know he
there's a
wouldn't.
100% chance that he
hates the
doesn't.
fact that I bring this up.
No, I don't hate this. For
I don't
those
want him to
the
go.
viewers
I
that
like
don't know,
Jimmy.
exactly.
They know. I let him know last week.
Okay.
You weren't here.
Right.
Right.
Well,
And by the way,
he still has 0 chance of getting traded in week 5.
The Browns are like a drooling like a bulldog right now, being like, I need Jimmy in week 6 against the Patriots.
Not happening.
Yeah.
No?
But the Browns, I think
Browns.
they're more like seeing Jamal Sheard, ruin people, and they're like, how do we let this guy go? That's what Hugh Jackson's saying when he wants the Patriots.
You don't bring a quarterback in mid-season and try and incorporate the offense. It just doesn't
Explain
happen
yourself, though. What is that Browns comment? They want to see Jimmy G after the performance on Sunday?
No, they would love to have Jimmy G.
Oh, gotcha.
They
Yeah, he thinks the Browns are going to trade for Jimmy G in week 5.
Oh, yeah.
Or week
well,
6.
Here's the deal. When we were kind of arguing about that,
Yeah.
I was under the impression that Jimmy G was up after this year.
Right.
And so
So are you trying to change your argument now based off a lack of information
no, I
on
think
your own part?
in the moment I was saying this based on now this is something I said I think I was 80% on, but he's under contract for next year. My purpose.
This is an interesting. I've never really seen this type of
backpedal.
weave out of backpedal.
I learned it from James White.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but seriously, my point was rather than them losing him in free agency, they would trade him before that happens.
Right.
Now I think that's maybe mid-season next year or on the off season of coming up.
Which was kind of what I was saying to you guys at the time.
Not
right?
really.
No, I wasn't saying. Oh, okay. All right.
Let's table
Let's
this.
get back on the. Yeah. Let's get back on the topic. Yeah.
Absolutely. But just in terms of, I don't.
Is Jimmy G playing this week?
David Gerard was commenting on our YouTube page about how, and shout out to you, David. Thanks for responding, man. Not the former Jacksonville quarterback. He spells it differently. But unless you're listening to, what's up to you, David, too. But he was saying how he likes Jimmy G better than Jacoby Brissett. So, he's in your camp. We haven't seen enough of Jacoby.
Look.
We're just saying down the road, maybe he can grow
Here's the
into
thing.
something. It's the Patriot way.
Quite honestly, this is a hot topic in Boston. Everyone's like Jimmy G, Brissett. Everyone's already talking about Jimmy G's the next quarterback. And quite honestly, the timings. I love Jimmy G. I like when they drafted him, but the timing's off. Right.
Yeah.
The timing's
He's
off.
early. He's early.
He's early.
He's
I
early.
mean, because we think that Tom Brady's going to play this year, and I think he could play maybe 3 more years.
I
at
think-
a high
I'm
level.
with you.
I think he's got 2 more years tops.
This year and 1 more year.
Don't.
No, 2 more years, like tops. But like that gets into that gray area. We don't know what's gonna happen, you know. But like, okay, hold on. Like, okay, fine, give him 2 years. But the timing's off with Jimmy. Now, Brissett is clearly the next guy up at this moment. And and he's saying that he's better than Brissett. Do we really know that? I mean, can we really make that evaluation right now?
No,
Well, this is just the viewer. Let's not
okay,
lampoon
no,
him.
I'm just I appreciate the comment, so I'm talking about it.
I love
and
it.
so I think Brissett, to me, once he gets to learn the playbook, sits behind there with their clipboard, I think he has a bit more athleticism to the position, and that dude's big.
We're worried
And he's
about
got a
something.
strong
David
arm.
Gerard also commented that he liked Aaron Hernandez much better than Martellus Bennett. That he was more athletic.
He's a crazy guy, yeah.
So David, get your pickup.
Yeah.
Back it up to the old jailhouse.
Yeah.
and break him out Dukes of Hazzard style.
Read El Chapo's book. See what kind of drill they used. But that's not happening. So we're with Martellus till
The kid's a beast.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that.
I think
Let's talk a little bit about the special teams performance, because that game was lost.
Let's give a shout out to Amar.
Yeah, Amar.
Definitely.
Who tweeted that?
Yeah,
he wanted to make a special.
Exactly.
Comment.
About the special teams?
Yes, and
the kickoffs.
he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. I'm not sure exactly what the tweet was, but basically pointed out the fact that the Pats clearly practiced to kick it to the 10 or 12 or whatever it was, so that they had to field it and then come and swarm them. And it made a difference, and it won them the game, quite frankly, at the end of the game. And if you ever, I don't know if you guys saw the Belichick video from the post game, it was awesome. And
Him with Zolak? No, post game. Okay,
no, post game in the locker room, and he kind of went on this thing like, this was one of those wins. This win started Tuesday in the meetings, and we won this game with the small things, and it was just it kind of was straight out of that Patriots mentality, and it was just nice to see.
Definitely.
And it was funny. Earlier in the day when I was watching the games, I literally was thinking to myself, I mean, what are we like with the other games? Why are we even kicking off anymore? This is ridiculous, because it was just like kick it off in the end zone, it's commercials, go back, and the next thing you know, like, okay, we're playing. Until the Pats
finds
played.
a way. He
Until
finds
the
a way.
Pats played, and you were like,
He
yep.
studies every rule, and instead of just taking the old school approach of just saying this is what we do, he finds a way to take advantage within that. And he's one person that has taken special teams and said, this is the way you win and lose games. And in the NFL, winning and losing is being employed on Sunday and being unemployed on Monday.
Right.
And if special teams are the difference in between being unemployed and employed, you better put some work into that.
Yeah.
And straight out of Hard Knocks, and Jeff Fisher, you just see those, the inattention to small details that the special teams kind of flourish on, and really like those are what they build on, the small little details and building and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's something that the Patriots really cherish. And when you look back on the Patriots season, if this is one of those seasons, we're going to look back at this win as a really important win in the season, because and it's special teams based, and it's heart based, and it's just one of those gutted out wins, and it's defying your personality, your team. I like the direction of the personality that we're showing right now.
No question.
It was
and I think it's due in no small part to the captain of that unit being a guy, multiple Pro Bowler, Matthew Slater. And it just seems like everybody's kind of taking that Matthew Slater line. I mean, this guy's just a fantastic football player. And just go out and do it. Barkevius Mingo, oh, yeah, you used to be a previous 6th overall pick. You're on special teams now. earn your keep.
Yep.
Boom. He's out there making plays. Another kid that really impressed on special teams to me.
Buy in.
Is who could be a future Matthew Slater, although I think due to our cornerback situation, he's probably going to be playing corner for us, probably as soon as next season. Jonathan Jones. He looked great out there on special teams.
And another shout out to Ebner. I mean, the guy out
so
there
good.
doing rugby, and he didn't make any big plays, but he's involved.
He's always around the ball
involved. He's around the ball. He makes problems for anyone who's on the other team. He is a problem, and he's unassuming, and it's just like you watch him, and if like the guy around him may make the tackle, but he's right there. And if the guy that's right there doesn't make the tackle, you're not getting by Abner.
And just, we're talking about special teams, and I don't mean to segue to Miami because I'm not trying to do that. But I'll tell you, and this is what's great.
Feel free. We're a rudderless discussion of all things Patriots.
And the one great thing about the Patriots is everyone buys in to the system and they move forward, and that's how you win as a team. Now, someone like Jay Ayaji, who doesn't even make it on the plane, is because he's sour grapes because he's spelling Arian Foster and he's on special teams. And he doesn't like that.
I didn't think we were going to bring fantasy implications. It's like this is a Patriots Wrap 360, not like I need to get fantasy mistakes off my chest.
Can you handle this? I'm sorry, we're playing Miami next week, are we not?
Yeah, we are. Give Junebug a break. I mean, you're off the rails on that one. But anyways.
I'm off the rails on that. Okay.
I mean, he's talking fantasy about J.H.I.? I think he's a little
because he drafted him.
Yeah. Did you take a win?
Why are we even talking about J.H.I. other than the fact that he's drafted
this week? We're only playing him this week.
I thought you just said we weren't going to look forward, but you had to bring it up.
Kevin, I think it's a good illustration.
Okay, let's move forward.
I think it's a good illustration and definitely a legitimate point that because we're talking about the Patriot way. And other teams,
that was a cheap shot.
In this instance,
that was a cheap shot.
Oh, well, he's from West Roxbury. The team we're playing next has a little different way than the Patriot way, the Dolphin way. And one way that's illustrated is Jay Ajayi not making planes.
Thank you.
What? So that was the deal. He didn't make his plane last week.
That's it.
Missed the plane.
No, he didn't miss the plane.
Oh no, they told him to stay home, right? Because he was being a baby about his position.
Situation.
He lost the
Well, I mean, mad ups to the Dolphins for doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking a little line on the Belichick train.
But not really, because the coach Gase is like saying, "Okay, well, today's a new day. You can start new."
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be starting. He'd be starting new in the Patriot way because he'd be starting new on another team.
Another practice squad. New start, new contract, new uniform, new everything, son.
New home, new zip code, son.
Good luck with the fresh start. Oh man, that's awesome. I lost my train of thought, but one thing I don't think we gave just enough love is Dante Scarnecchia, and I ran a little bit down the rabbit hole today on some articles, about kind of, and it was a good point. I think it was either Pat's Pulpit which is a great site, or might have been Inside the Pylon, which they direct you to a lot of times. Another great, like if you're a football junkie, check that out. But they were saying how Dave DiGuillermo, our offensive line coach for the past couple of years, is more from like a power running game. And he kind of had a system and technique where the tackles and like all offensive linemen would have like a narrower stance and like have the weight kind of on the front foot because he's like coming from a lot of power running situation. And so even when they pass block, they still kind of have that power running stance where a lot of weight is on their hand and they fire out and engage the pass rusher, like that. So it's almost like pass blocking as kind of like run blocking essentially. But they were saying like Dante does more of a wider stance, and so for the taller tackles like we have, like Volmer and Solder, it wasn't so good for them the DiGuillermo way because they would like be off balance and stuff. So now Dante back in the fold. I mean, we go in there with our 2 second string tackles, with Fleming and Cannon, who at times looked pretty much like turnstiles last season. And they were very formidable. I mean, other than that sack where Jimmy G, coughed it up, they were pretty well protected. He was pretty well protected.
Yeah, absolutely. Against a great defense.
Right. So, and it's like So when we get Solder back, because it seems like, he's not as banged up like Seabass is done till maybe he comes off that short-term IR, right? So, I mean, to have this kind of depth being developed this early in the season, I mean, it's just to see how they're performing on week one. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I got to say before, because I know I can see you itching to get to Miami here, but hold on.
I'm not.
I can see it. What's interesting is to see. I love seeing players who leave the Patriots and go somewhere else, and then when you're playing against them, like Chandler, what's he get? He gets a flag for excessive celebrating.
Oh yes, good point, Jay Cherella.
Yep.
And it's like,
That's the Cardinal way, I guess.
yeah. It's like all of a sudden they've been waiting, and they're like, yeah, and then it cost them.
Yeah.
It cost them.
He did get a sack.
He did. He did get a fumble recovery. I mean, the guy's still a beast.
He's still a beast. You can't do
You can't do
clean
that.
it up.
Because that was
Undisciplined.
big.
Yeah.
We'll take that 15 yada.
And one other thing I want to say, which is interesting, and it didn't really.
This won't be his last thing, folks.
Yeah. But at the end of the game, for the field goal, that timeout the Patriots called, it was a little late. You know what I mean? Like, we thought that he wasn't going to call it, right? You were like, oh, they're just going to rush him out. He's kind of doing what he did last year. Let them rush out.
Yeah.
But then he called it late.
Right.
And it was like, you either call that at the top or you don't call it at all. And if they had kicked that field goal, that would have been a problem.
I was thinking that initially, but the sole fact that the Cardinals didn't have a timeout in that situation, I think he wanted to see, all right, it's week one. How good are they at going on the fly, bringing on the field goal unit, while the offense gets off, and are they going to be able to make this kick? And like when they were able to make that transition, and there was still 17 seconds left on the game clock. Excuse me, not game clock, but play clock. I think that's when he took it, because I was with you. I was like, "Damn, Bill, you're killing us." Burn that early. You could have saved us 15 seconds. But
I thought it was interesting. When he didn't call it, I was like.
It's never a mistake. It's never a mistake. I mean, it can be a mistake, but it's never not. It's never not thought out. Like he's just not. He's not thinking out that play.
I mean, I honestly was like, timeout. And then I was realizing, I'm like, he just wants to see these guys scramble.
He wants to see them scramble.
But then when he called the timeout, I was dumbfounded. I was like, well, why are you calling it now?
Well, because they were kind of out there.
They were ready, and then they pulled it off. They're like, all right, we did it. We got everything ready to go. Now let's do it. We pulled this. We pulled steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off.
Belichick's a genius.
And he's like, no, actually you didn't. Let me pull that card on you. Now that you've shown me that you can run off the field, let me just ice you.
Jay Cherella with the newsflash there for us on Belichick being a genius. We love it. Yeah. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. And who was some standouts on the defensive side of the ball you guys thought in this game? I mean, I think, a little bit of a spotlight was kind of put on the defensive line this season because of, the departure of Chandler Jones and, Ninkovich being on suspension this early in the season and would be able to get enough pressure on the quarterback.
Sheard held up.
Sheard's a stud. Chris Long, a guy that he's got the pedigree. He's the son of Charlestown's Howie Long, who was an animal in the league for so long, and a kid I love that he's just kind of had a trouble staying healthy in his early season. Plus he was playing for the Rams.
Wah.
Yeah. So now he's with a legitimate team, and I got to give a shout out to my boy B Stone who texted me during the game. I'm not on social media, but I still get texts, and so he hit me up. He's like, "Oh yeah, he comes from a great, he's a great alumnus or something. This kid's a Virginia guy I'm talking about." So he's like, "You're gonna love that pickup," and he's just one of the few former first round picks that the Pats have just plucked this year.
I thought that with the beginning of the game was a classic Patriots moment where they're running the starting graphics of the defense, but by the time they had gotten it up and they had run it, it was the second play of the Patriots offense, and Chris Long wasn't in part of the starting offense, but he was already defense. On that play, and he was already in making an influence on that play, and I was just like, that's the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have starters. I mean, I guess for the first play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then we rotate every guy for every situation to win that situation.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's almost like this token gift. Like, yeah, Chris Long is or isn't starting, but he's going to play, he's going to rotate, and they just do such a great job of rotating in. And he was like, I thought Chris Long early on was
Animal.
He was pretty involved.
Yeah. And Jabal Sheard, like you were
Jabal
saying.
Sheard.
Jaballer? What do you
Jabal.
think? Can we bring back that nickname that I tried to get going last season?
You did?
Yeah, no good?
Well, no, it's
Jaballer.
I'll roll with it.
I mean, it's pretty accurate. The guy's a baller. His name's Jabal. Jaballer.
Yeah, you really went outside the box there.
Yeah, well,
Jabala.
you know, that's it. That's why my nickname's Cons. It's the first syllable of my
By the way, just you were bringing up like how the when it says they're college or whatever in the
Yeah.
start, Imagination Agency.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Martellus Bennett, Imagination Agency.
I'm lost on that reference. Is that
I mean, who is it?
Yeah, okay. All right, good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, 3 days later, he shows up at Children's Hospital in Boston with a Pokemon costume. Okay, all right.
The guy's a
Imagination
spaceman.
Agency.
We love him.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and when he has, like I said, I think I said this last week, but you know, when he has a great year for the Patriots and just loves the Patriot way, and hopefully is, you know, partying with Lombardi at the end of the season, and then he just tells his brother about the situation and be like, "Hey,
We're
you know,
really
this,
we're
we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's
I
stay
should go
on
back
top.
to channeling my
Let's stay on
Belichick.
top.
I mean,
Let's stay on
I
topic
thought
here. Let's
McCourty
stay on
would be
topic.
talking to his twin brother, but
Let's
that
stay on
hasn't happened.
topic. Let's
It's
stay on
true.
topic. Let's
All
stay
right.
on topic.
Before we move on
You
to
said
the
no
Dolphins,
fantasy football talk, right?
You're
That's
right.
that could be
No.
judged as
It can
fantasy.
leak in. It can leak in.
fantasy.
He's really
Football.
he's like the fantasy referee over here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, we're not
I'll throw a
against
flag
fantasy.
on that Taj
I mean, we're all in
draft pick.
fantasy. I mean, we know that. So if you guys, you know, you got a bad beat in fantasy, we'd love to hear that about that. You know, if you guys got a tip, we'd love to hear that. Hit us up on the YouTube page in the comment section. Something you like. Because we're all doing fantasy. I beat Finn this week in East Wesley.
Yes.
Touche.
I mean,
Touche.
you know, it
Yeah.
was like behind the mini defense. It happened. Did you ever win in our league this week?
No, I did not.
All right.
I
Well,
lost.
you guys are
I
starting
had
it all
more.
over.
I had more points on my bench than I did in my starter. So
Oh boy, you could have left that at home. That information.
I mean,
would have left you alone. There.
That I don't. What do you get for that?
nothing.
Is that- oh.
You get fired.
Still
actually.
a loss.
That
You
Still
should
0-1.
get fired.
Bat in
You
the
should
buck
get fired.
85 get you on the orange line.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So one more guy before we move on to this coming week's game that it's gotta get some props. Logan Ryan. Okay, I know Larry Fitz scored what? One touchdown, two touchdowns.
Amazing.
And
But
Logan
Couple
had
of
him.
sick catches though.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Guy is
I mean,
amazing.
it's like a certain guy is gonna get off and get his stuff, and
Yeah.
that he's one of those
Ugh.
guys. Like he's like playing Kobe. Like, yeah, if you hold Kobe to 21, like sometimes you had an amazing night defensively, and that's
Right.
like if you're up against Larry Fitz.
I mean, let's talk
That's
about
a- that's a
Larry
win.
for a second.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, along with Deflate, Kobe. Like those are also banned things to talk about on the
Kobe's a
Patriots
bad
show.
reference.
I mean,
Terrible.
You know,
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, Paul Pierce, circa 01.
Yeah.
Or you know,
Kevin Garnett.
yeah, something.
Touche.
Anyways,
I hate Kobe. I don't know why. I say that.
Yeah, it's great.
He's a
We're in
shooter.
LA,
He's a
you
shooter.
got- I
He's a
mean,
shoo-
you
he's a
know,
shooter.
We're
That's
kind of
the-
thinking like we're in Boston. You see this brick?
We're in Boston right
Yeah,
now.
this is it. That's the proof.
I thought we were in Boston right
yeah.
now. Why are you pulling that curtain down?
Sorry, man. You know, I'm all about no fourth wall.
I mean, I do have shorts
I'm
on,
not wearing
but-
pants. Neither is Kev, evidently. But the thing, Logan Ryan, and you know, man, I hate to give Collinsworth props again on the same show, but he let out a little nugget that he was the leading tackler amongst cornerbacks last year. Logan Ryan.
Yeah, I remember hearing that and being surprised by
Yeah.
that we somehow missed that stat on the show.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's not too surprising, but
No.
yeah, I mean, but just just as a diehard Pats fans as we are, it's like, how did we not hear that from Scott Zolak or Tommy Curran over the weeks?
It was their fault, not us.
Absolutely. I
it.
love how you just
Come on,
passed
guys.
that along.
Come on, guys.
How dare you not inform me?
I would never.
information
I would
that I
never
can
throw Tommy
regurgitate
Curran under
on-
the bus. All right, he's a
You just
St.
did.
A's guy.
You just did.
Oh man.
Well, I hope the Patriots
Sorry,
aren't,
Tommy. We still want you on the show.
I hope the Patriots aren't underestimating Miami like we are.
No, I don't think so because, I mean, if you listen to Belichick, first thing he referenced was last year's loss, which they did have. They have tape on that. The Dolphins beat them last year. And, you know, it's going to be doom and gloom when you come into Patriots Place.
Is that the new
Now,
is that the new nickname for LeGarrette Blount and James White?
Doom and gloom.
Ooh. Doom and gloom on your your
That
defensive
sounds
front.
negative.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
I mean,
it's,
how do you-
it's in reference to your
We'll
front
give you
seven.
Jabala. We'll keep working with that one.
Thanks, thanks,
I'll give you
thanks.
Jabala off that. That made Jabala
Still
sound
in the
real good.
workshop. Still in the workshop.
But let's talk
I was
about-
asking.
You say
He's still a
coming
little
in-
woozy after his fantasy win. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
I am a little
Yeah,
lightheaded.
yeah.
But I'll tell you though, coming into Patriot Place, and we talked about this last week. Now Jimmy is going to be playing under the huge Tom Brady
they took it
sign.
down.
Did they take it down?
They took it down.
They took it down.
Oh, that's a good call if they did.
No,
I mean,
they didn't take it down, did they?
I mean, it's,
Somebody
doesn't it
text me.
seem? I'd like
Somebody
to get your
text
take
me.
on this because, I mean, is that really doing Jimmy G a service having the big banner on the light
Yes.
on the lighthouse? Yeah.
I think it's. I'm fine with it. I'm completely.
Oh, you're
fine.
fine with
I'm
it.
fine with
I
it.
was too. That's what I said to him
I'm
last
fine
week.
with it. I'm fine with it. There is a sheriff. There is a leader of this organization, and you need to know, even when you're in control, and even when you have a win, and
You
even
talking about the Bob Kraft banner? Or,
No, he's saying the same thing I'm
know,
saying,
it's
which was this is Tom Brady's offense.
this is
and
Tom
Jimmy's-
Brady's team. This is Tom Brady's
team.
organization, other than
And
Bob Kraft and Bill Belichick. There's three names
Jimmy's
in
subletting.
the New
Subletting
England
the
Patriots
offense.
organization. It goes Bob Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and as far as how history remembers this run, and Tom Brady's there, and he's been, you know, we're not going to get into this, but it's just BS what he's going through, and I love that, and I love that everyone's freaked out by the banner. They're like, by the way, it keeps looking at me, and its eyes, and I'm walking in, and has anyone seen that? Has anyone backed me up that it looks? It's like it's looking at you at all times. Like, that's awesome. I think it's awesome. It's a great show of support.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the man that's got us here. Jimmy G, who are you, dude? Week 1, son.
Yeah.
This is
Week one.
Week 1, one win.
And I say this
You got work to do, like years, people, generations,
years.
lives. People
I
have
agree.
come and gone.
And this is what
That's
I
the
say-
man that runs this town.
And I say this to these Bostonian people friends that I talk to, who are all about Jimmy G and questioning Tom Brady.
Oh my God!
It's
It's
just-
sacrilege.
Wow.
Sacrilege.
Like, how?
Sacrilege.
wow.
How?
I hope you give him the Bill Belichick face when he's gets that question.
I do get a little fired up, but that's that's what they get excited. They're like, well, Tom's done. Come on.
Hey, but I will
These are the
say,
same
you're-
tools that were like shouting for Bish back in the day over Tom Brady. Or
This-
the bishop, dude's been selling insurance for 12 years.
There's a difference in between losing your job from an injury and losing your job from a suspension.
Well,
And not only that, a BS suspension. Tom Brady has zero chance of losing his job. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's
let's
not
not
even
think
talk
about
about
it.
it.
Let's not waste
crazy.
breath on it.
Yeah.
he's
It's
the
a
goat.
joke, man.
He's the goat.
Do you smell that? Do you smell that? I smell goat poop. And there's Tom Brady coming after you.
It smells a lot like kale.
does. So
man.
Miami Dolphins, right? Squish the
Yes,
fish.
squish the fish. The Dolphins kind of, I've always been a little bit, non-believers in their defense, but they kind of showed up in Seattle this past weekend and held Seattle
Yeah,
to
they
what,
did.
12 points? That was a low-scoring affair. Maybe this Adam Gase got a little something,
And I never like playing the Dolphins early in the season. They're just, it's like they're always problematic early on in the season because you never know where they're going to be. By the end of the season, most times guys are like have already made their plane tickets and they're into the clubs and this and that.
Week
Early
2,
on-
they already have that. They still have that fresh season.
They still
smell.
have they just signed a contract. They're still fighting. It's
like new sneakers.
Maybe this is a new city for them. They haven't gotten to the clubs. By week 8, if the Dolphins aren't in it, then you want to go down there. But in week 2,
but even then, they surprise you in that December game.
yeah.
It's just like they put you out of the playoffs.
well,
You're
if
like,
you're
"What?"
playing in Miami, they have the humidity and they know how to play in it because they practice in it. And if you're coming from dry fall weather and you're gonna go down there in the humidity,
I mean, it's gonna be a
That's a
good
problem.
game. It's gonna be a good game. I mean, and it doesn't matter every year. AFC East division game. It's always a tight game.
No
it doesn't
question.
matter whether the team is good or bad. It just always seems to be.
did you guys catch that thing that went viral about they re-edited?
Belichick's herpes? Or?
No, when
Oh, by
they
the
took
way,
the
they were
scene.
back. Hold on. Hold on. They're back.
I know.
The cold sores are back.
It's a early season thing, I guess. You know,
Well, that's
he must
hepatitis. It's
he must take
it's a
Delonte West
hepatitis.
out on his boat trips.
That's
in the
actually
offseason.
like a hepatitis, right? It's not the hepatitis, the serious one. It's the other one that re-flares. But did you guys see the
cheating on
the
Linda
vi-
Holiday with LeBron's mom, evidently.
Hey,
Oh,
Jesus.
off the rails. Go ahead. Talk
Man.
about the. This gets back to the YouTube.
Wow,
Not,
I think we piped in a YouTube response. You know?
Where they had the scene overdubbed where it was like a Nazi movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
I
Since.
hate the Jets.
Yeah, where it was like the subtitles were all instead of
Oh, did KO send that out?
yeah, where it
Okay.
was like basically Goodell being like, we sent the Pats out to lose and stuff like that.
It was.
I had a little
funny.
problem reading it on my phone, so I'll have to check my email.
Oh my god!
That's actually pre-flip phone.
Wow, that's Drew
I
Bledsoe.
only got
era.
that because I couldn't find a flip phone, so it's obviously post flip phone.
Flip phone.
Here's the thing, which I don't want to get too ahead of myself and already like write in a W for this weekend, but Ryan Tannehill does not impress me as a quarterback.
But there's games that he will.
Jarvis
He
Landry,
did
you know,
like the film tape that Bill's going to show.
Yes.
Which is why I think he's going to look horrible in
Right.
Foxborough.
There's games where you're like, Ryan Tannehill.
he's accurate. He's an accurate thrower. He's an
Is he?
He can show up. He can show up.
He's more of a scamperer. I haven't been impressed with his accuracy.
He's not consistent, is what he's not.
That's what he is.
Yeah, I think he's inconsistent, but when he's on, he can.
Yeah. He can. When he's on, he's as good as anyone but Tom Brady.
He can complete it at 57%. That's his on day.
Yeah.
So, oh man,
Clearly, he's better than the leader of the helm of the LA Rams.
oh boy.
Wah,
You
wah.
mean? Oof. I just
Worst-
think that kid.
worst
Have you
NFL
been
game.
watching Hard Knocks?
Team.
Yeah.
Worst NFL game by a team I've seen in years.
Nah, yeah, overblown that. I mean, they got blown out, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, I just think that by a team that's not that good.
Terrible.
Yeah, by a terrible team. By terrible. The 49ers are not a good team. The jury's still out on.
I'm kind of a believer in Chip.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's because he's a New England guy. I get behind him.
Yeah.
But,
Should have abandoned that ship a while ago.
well, I think Philly should have gave him another year, to be honest with you. But or two. You don't give the guy the keys to the whole thing, and then only give him 1 year to
Well, that
make
was
it
a
happen.
power struggle. That was a power
was crazy.
struggle between
Miami.
Howie Roseman.
Miami.
What about him?
Stay
Let's
focused.
stay
Oh,
focused.
look at you, razor focused.
Rams.
We got 30
Gotcha.
seconds.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to shout out before we sign off? Or any points you want to interject really quick? I think Dante Scarnecchia looks much younger than his years. I'll tell you that. The guy's very spry out there on the sideline.
I look
impressed.
forward to Jimmy's,
That's the best offseason
Jimmy's
acquisition.
second game.
It's
know?
Jimmy.
I want to see it back out again. I just want to see the consistency.
Okay, pick me a little star who's going to show up this week. Who's really going to, in 10 seconds or less, throw somebody out there that's really going to. Gotcha.
I'm gonna stay with Hogan. I think we're
Gotcha.
gonna see a lot of Hogan. You're gonna see more and more.
Hogan's heroes.
I love that. Who you like?
I'm going with Jules. Jules is going to have a big week this week.
Gotcha. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. I think Vincent Valentine, the rook, going to have
Love
a big
it.
week. I also love
like it.
Trey Flowers as a rookie.
Trey Flowers is good.
He's
due.
This
He's due. It's
defensive
only a matter of
lineman,
time.
I mean, he looked great in the preseason. He had a pretty good game on Sunday too.
He's due.
I think
due.
he's
due. He's coming along.
looking good. He's looking good.
It says wrap up. Okay, what
yeah,
does that
it's true.
mean?
That means we got to wrap.
That means we
Yeah,
should.
it means the
But-
J, the I,
Hey,
the
Pats
M,
fans,
the M, the Y.
the Y.
It's
Wow.
Jimmy.
Guys,
Wrap
join
up.
us here on
Jimmy.
Patriots Wrap 360. We're here every Wednesday night around 11 Eastern time. If you're a Red Sox fan, tune in on Sundays. We got Red Sox Wrap 360 coming at you. This week we're going to be on a little later. We're going to be around a little after midnight Eastern on Sunday. So check us out on that. For Jason Cherella and Kevin Finn, I'm Mike Conley. This has been another edition of Patriots Wrap 360. Thanks for joining us. Go Pats.
Go Pats.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.